Yo, so today, guys, we got Jumpman, Bostic. How are you, man?
Yes, sir.
We're
Nice
in
to meet
Detroit, Michigan. Tell us how you got started, man. We got a lot of heat in store, a lot of gyms. I mean, a lot of not seen before shoes. So, like, tell us about it. Tell us about it.
Well, first of all, I appreciate you guys reaching out to me and coming and checking it out. This is a new and updated look with the drop front, so you got the first exclusive look at it.
Oh, man, that's
so
great. That's great.
So that's cool. But how I got into it, I was 22 years old, and I was in college, 1985, actually. MJ had just left to go play with the Bulls, and I saw the Chicago ones.
And you knew it.
I just knew it. That was the first shoe I seen that had color in it.
Gotcha.
All the other shoes were just all one color. And he brought that color wave to it, and I saw the Chicago ones, and I was hooked. And one shoe led to 1,130. And we start in this corner with the ones, and we just go all the way around. And I'll just pull out some of my favorites. You know, I remember like the Leroy Smiths. This was the player that caused MJ to play junior varsity basketball. He didn't make the varsity team, so he made a tribute shoe to Leroy Smith. And that, you know, MJ was only a sophomore. And most sophomores play JV basketball anyway, but he would have been on the varsity. But this was the one person who made the team, and MJ ended up playing on junior varsity. So he made a tribute shoe to Leroy Smith.
Incredible.
Shattered backboard, reverse, and the original. And this was from a benefit game he played when he shattered the backboard. Here are the K54 ones. There is another K54 one. This is the rough and tough, and this is actually the newer version.
So these came out last year, correct?
Yeah, and these are from a street ball tournament over in France, and pretty popular shoe here in the U.S. And they recently came out with the threes.
Yeah.
So that's the most recent one. So I still got to get the three. Well, I have more ones than any other numbered Jordan. The 8s are my all-time favorite model.
Okay.
But I have a lot of ones. I love the ones. Not many people know what this shoe is. This is the J2K High. This is a shoe that was made from scrap leather, scrap material from other shoes. And it has, you know, the Celtics, the Knicks, Phoenix Suns, Portland Trail Blazers, all the teams that the Bulls beat. And I got to give a shout out to my oldest son. He came up with the labels. He made the template for that. I wanted my drop fronts to be different, where I could have the labels. Same shoe you have on, huh? Yeah. So I call those the Tin Mans. Yeah. So then we move into off-whites. People got mad at me for picking these up.
Why?
They say, you're too old to have these. It's a young hype beast shoe. But to me, this shows how the actual Jordan 1s were crafted, in my opinion. It shows, you know, before the leather was all sewn together.
Okay, I see.
Before the swoosh was put on. It shows their thought going into the shoe and how they were gonna actually make the shoe. And then on the inside of the shoe, it just shows, you know, 1985 Air Jordan 1, Beaverton, Oregon. So it has a different meaning to me.
So out of that whole Virgil operation, you know, out of that whole collection, he had the Prestos, he had the Forces. Like, would you say the ones out of the whole Off-White collection was the best drop?
I think so, but I did want to go after the Prestos, the Air Force Ones.
Which one is the first model or the white and black ones?
The first model.
The first model? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. All right, now we're into the threes, and these are the mochas. And so when I go to sneaker events, I just like to display this as is because, you know, just like the old fours, you know, they're the same way. I have two pair. This one actually is still wearable, but the one up top is not. This is another popular shoe that a lot of people would love to see. Retro, that's going for at least $1,000
White and fours, man.
in resale. So
would you say, like, out of all your shoes, I know you I hear you say you wear them a lot. You play basketball. Like, is it hard to pick certain shoes to ball in? Is it hard to pick certain shoes to walk out in? Like, how do you go about picking what shoe to wear for this day or this occasion?
Great question. I usually get dressed first.
Uh-huh.
So I got dressed today, and I put on my shirt, put on my joggers, and I said, what shoe am I going to wear? So it narrowed it down to like either a white or a black shoe.
Oh, okay. So I see you got a little hype stuff from this year.
Yeah.
You got the Cactus Jack.
Yep.
And you laced them up with the white laces.
I did the leather laces
with these
from
laces.
Sneakerhead Clothing Line. This is the 5 section here, and I showed you the jeans. They go with these.
That's crazy.
The Burgundy 5, one of my favorite DBs. The 5s. It took me a minute to come across that. I was patient, and I finally was able to get it in my size. Like, these are some samples of the Motorsports, and when they first came out, all I saw was up to a size 12. That's a rare size 13 and a half, and it has a sample tag on the inside.
13 and a half?
Yep. And it has a sample tag. So that is a sample of the shoe, and I was lucky enough to come across the DB6. This is definitely, and now this is rumored to come back out next year.
I hope they don't re-release these.
It will not be like that.
No, nowhere near. The quality is just insane on these.
Yeah. And then, you know, they're saying they're coming back out with
right here on the back
the infrared 6s.
So is this the OG
That's
pair?
the 2000.
2000 pair. Okay, got it. So speaking of remastered stuff, you know, we have the Concord 11s coming up.
Yes.
This Christmas. How are you feeling about that? Like, they replaced the 23, they put the 45 on the back.
That's the original.
But there's a lot of negativity about it.
I'm glad that they're coming with the 45 because that was the number he was wearing when he came back. But he switched to 23 after, you know, Orlando beat him and they was talking mess to him. He said, I'm going back to number 23. But the shoe was already made. So he was wearing the number 23 with the shoe having 45 on it.
Okay.
So it's a lot of history behind that a lot of people don't know.
I heard you say your 8s is, you know, your favorite retro. So, like, out of the 8s, what is, like, your actual favorite shoe out of the 8?
Oh, my Grail is the playoff 8. But I wish they would bring this back with the red tab. All we've been getting for the retro is the black tab. That's how you tell the difference. And then the outsole of the shoe.
That's crazy.
It's different.
I never really
no yellow in it. Well, a little bit. But behind the tongue. And then the stitching. The product tag is behind the tongue on the retro. It's on the side.
A huge transition.
Yeah.
A huge transition.
And then that is more of a nubuck.
Yeah.
This is more of a Durabuck. No. I would just love to see a remastered, with the red full tab. I do have customs too. This was one of 24 when it originally released, and you know these are going for like $10,000. The Ray Allen 8. It was a House of Hoops release, and it was only like 24 of them released in the world. So Mosh, he is like the ultimate customizer. He does them for NBA players, WWE wrestlers, and I just happen to know him personally, and he's like the very best.
Well, shout out to Mosh on these. Yes. I mean, you killed it, bro. Like, honestly, you killed it on these.
And the only difference in this and the original was the sock liner.
Oh, okay.
The sock liner was green on the original. So we're here. Finish the 8s and the 9s section here.
I see you got the Birmingham Barons. I'm from Birmingham. So,
oh, are you?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm from Birmingham, so I mean, like, this was a huge shoe. I remember when these came out. They came out on like when I was in 6th or 7th grade, and everybody had these, man. Everybody.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. We only get 2 shoes, Birmingham Barons, the 9s and the 11s. That's all we got.
Okay.
To contribute to Birmingham.
Favorite 10s, which I know a lot of people do not like. This shoe was recalled because MJ didn't like the toe cap.
Steel Team.
From 1994. And actually there are two different models of that. It's what does that one say behind the tongue? That one should say Korea.
Made in Korea.
This one is made in Taiwan. So there's two different ones that they made in two different countries.